Great catching up with my next guest. He's got a big fight coming up here against Rafa Garcia, UFC Fight Night, October 12th. We're exactly a month away today. Grant, how's it going, man?
It's going, man. You know how it goes. Ready to get in there. Camp's been long. I've known about this fight for 13 weeks, and that just is too much time. I hate that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I know you wanted to get back in there. I remember last time we spoke after the win, wanted to take like a little bit of a vacation and then get back in there sooner. Are you surprised that you're not getting these quick turnarounds? Because again, you came off a pretty good win in your last fight.
I don't think it's a UFC thing. I don't think it's a Sean Shelby thing. I think it's just hard to find me an opponent, and having been ranked and not ranked anymore, I think that makes it even harder because if you beat me, I don't really know if you get a whole lot, and if you lose to me, you lost to the guy that apparently can't stay ranked. So I think that people know how tough I am, and I think that there's just not a big line of guys looking to fight me. I think that's the problem.
Did you have any other opponents in the mix, or was the only opponent you got Garcia?
The only opponent I got was Garcia,
Okay.
and I was on vacation with my wife, and we got the phone call from my manager Jason, and he said Rafa Garcia in 13 weeks, and I said, cool, let's do it.
Yeah, you a bit surprised it was so far out. Like, usually when you get a call, it's, a little bit shorter than this, but I guess you got to take what they give you, right?
Yeah, I'm in a weird spot where I've either gotten 13 to 18 weeks or I've gotten like 4. There's no hey, can you fight this guy in 9 weeks? That gives you a week to kind of get ready for camp and then jump right into camp. But that would be perfect. If it was 9 weeks out, one more week of eating like crap and then jumping in for 8 weeks, that would have been perfect.
How's the vacation, by the way? I don't think I've talked to you since it was kind of like getting off the grid type thing, right?
Yeah, we went up to Georgia and we got a cabin in the woods and took our doggos and we hiked and we saw a bear. That was cool. That was really cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy vacations where we move. I don't like sitting on a beach.
Yeah,
I like to walk around. I like to have activities.
for sure. Have you never seen a bear before?
I mean, outside the zoo, no.
Really?
I've
Okay.
seen.
I guess you know what? It's a luxury where I live in Vancouver. We see bears all the time. Like Whistler, I've golfed up in Whistler a bunch of times. You will see bears on the golf course.
What kind of bears are we talking?
Brown bear and black bear.
Brown bears are dangerous, man. I just saw a black bear. That thing was more scared of me than I was of it, and I was pretty damn scared.
I mean, to be clear, just so people don't get the wrong idea, it's not like the bear's like close to me. Like you'll see them in the distance type thing, but they're not going to like attack you or anything. If they did though, I had the golf cart. I think they're mandatory anyways. You could probably get away from the bear with the golf cart. So,
Well, dude, brown bears are no joke. I mean,
yeah.
black bears are kind of sissies, but brown bears are no joke. They'll kill you, man. Those guys are vicious.
Yeah, no, definitely right about that. Let's talk about Garcia, 19 fight veteran. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Yeah, man. I mean, what am I supposed to say? Like, I think he's tough. I think he's definitely a step up from my last fight. I think he's very well rounded. I think guys aren't giving him enough credit. I think he's very tough. He's never been finished. He's on a nice little win streak, but I am where win streaks go to die. So I like it. I'm ready to prove my grit. I'm ready to prove that I'm able to be back into the top 15. That's my thing is I want to be. I don't necessarily think I'll get ranked after this fight, but I do think that a win over Rafa Garcia puts me in the shot for a ranked guy next.
Yeah, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Anything different at ATT as far as training part? I know Francis Marshall's been training with you guys too. That's been cool. And congrats to Francis, by the way, if he's watching this. I saw you got a new contract, which is cool. How's camp going? Who you mainly working with?
Yeah, Francis and I just sparred this morning. The kid's
cool.
a savage. He took a fight on 4 days' notice in his last fight. 4 days, coming off of a 2-fight losing streak, which was super risky, super ballsy for him because, at 4 days' notice, the other guy had a camp. He didn't. If he loses that fight, he gets cut. It was really great to see him. He moved away from his girlfriend. He moved away from his family, and he's living in American Top Team now and training with us every day. So it was really cool to see him get that reward for taking the risk, and something fun. My manager Jason told me that short notice guys have a 13% win ratio when they take short notice fights. So that was insane to see him beat the odds and get that win.
Very cool. I'll have to keep that stat in mind. And then yeah, so I know usual guys that you train with, like Dakota Bush. I'm trying to think who else. I was going to say Thiago Moises, but he's in Brazil now. Who are some of the main guys?
Tiago's back in ATT right now.
Oh, he
been
is.
training
Oh,
with-
cool. Probably just because I know he lives in Brazil now, right? So is he just coming by for camp or?
Yeah, no, he visits. I don't think he has a fight. He's visiting back and forth.
Oh, that's nice. You got your Bash brother back, right?
I did, for sure. And we sparred, and man, not that his striking wasn't phenomenal before, but his striking has gotten a lot better when he was training down in Brazil. So I've been sparring with him to get ready for Garcia. I honestly think that Moises is a better fighter than Rafa. And obviously I'm biased because he's my friend, but whatever. And then I have been training with Dakota, but training with Dakota more just wrestling because he's a really, really good wrestler. He's a really, really good grinder. And I think that's what this fight is going to be. Rafa has a few finishes, but not a whole lot. He's more of a decision guy, which is why I really like this matchup. I know he's going to be tough. I know he's going to be super hard to take down. I know he's going to be even harder to keep down. However, I just don't see me losing a decision. I don't think there's a lot of guys that can beat me by decision. If you beat me, it's got to be in the first 30 seconds with a submission or some type of knockout. And I just don't think that Rafa Garcia is that guy.
Any other names that we didn't talk about here that you're working with?
I mean, the base. My buddy Sadiq, he's helping me out. My buddy Charlie, he's helping me. He's shorter, stockier guys. It's just the same crew, man. Like I don't rinse and repeat, right? I don't think there's really anything. ATT has so many guys, has so many good high level people. I don't really think that there's a need to bring people in, if that makes sense.
No, a lot of variety there, which makes sense. I imagine too, Poirier's not at camp because usually he only comes in for camps, right? Because he doesn't live in Florida.
Yeah, he really just comes in when he feels like it and when he's got a camp. I don't have any information at all. This is just a guess. But I'm guessing he's going to be fighting beginning of next year. And again, I have no inside information.
Yeah, no problem. Don't worry. Listen, if there's one thing I've learned, and I tell people this as well, like fighters aren't news breakers all the time. You know what I mean? Like every now and then, and you're just outlining it there. Like you have a hunch. It doesn't mean that this is like an actual, like needs to be written into an article. Poirier coming back,
right.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's just the way he's talking, like he wants more, and he's thinking nothing is said or anything like that. I have a feeling we will be seeing Dustin Poirier fight January, February.
Who would you like to see him fight while we're on the topic? Because I hear people talking about Colby. I don't think that fight will ever happen. Poirier doesn't want to give Colby the platform and do the trash talk and all that. And then I hear other people mentioning other names, but it's got to be a big fight, right? This is going to be the last one for him. We're thinking, right?
Well, nothing is set in stone. Everybody says this is the last. Everybody said the last one was the last one.
That's true. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
And that's no shade on Dustin. Like,
no.
Bro, do whatever you want, make as much money as you want. I think Dustin could go, and this won't happen. I'm just, for example, Dustin could go on a 7-fight losing streak, and I'd still want to see him fight. I'd still tune in to watch it. I'd watch him fight a cameraman. Like he's got that star power. I think there's only one name that makes sense for him. Realistically, and that's Justin Gaethje 3. I don't think that he's ever had a trilogy fight, or I don't think he's ever had
Conor, I guess, but yeah.
Conor, he fought twice, lost once, beat it. Fought Gaethje twice, lost once. The only thing that makes sense is to see who the better man is. Who got luckier? That it was luck the first time. Was it luck the second time? We got to know.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, he fought Conor 3 times, but the first time was at featherweight, if you remember.
Yeah, he fought him at featherweight and lost, and then he fought him at lightweight twice and beat him by knockout.
Yeah, so that's 3 fights then.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said just 2. Anyways.
Oh no, he fought Gaethje twice. We need to see a third.
Twice. Oh, gotcha. Okay, my bad. Yeah, it's just.
I might have messed up, dude. I'm running on low calories.
No. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not calling you out or anything. I could just see someone in the comments. You know the well actually. I always talk about this in my streams. The well actually guy. You can make like a small mistake, and some guy writes a paragraph on how you made said mistake. So just making sure we're covering our bases here. You know what I mean? The well actually, that type of guy.
It's so say that because my wife, is a well actually, but she. It's all like science stuff. It's like, yeah, I don't know actually, if you use the nucleus and it brings down. And I always tell her, if I look over and you're not wearing a freaking lab coat, I want you to be quiet about nucleuses and calorie intake.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. weight cut process, does that start now, or is that closer to fight time?
Oh no, I've been cutting weight, man. I'm a big lightweight. I've been 8 weeks out. I lock everything down, and I'm human. I have cheat meals. I have cheat days.
Mm-hmm.
I had a cheat day yesterday. I'm human, bro.
Yeah.
It happened, but I'm locked in. The training schedule is set, and once that training schedule is set, we don't stray from the path. We stay on that training schedule.
Yeah, and to be fair too, like that's food is like one of your only vices. Like you don't do drugs or drink or anything, so you got to have something. And I think food is, if you're having it in moderation, it's not a big deal. What did you have? What did you have for the cheat meal?
Well, the problem is that I don't have it in moderation. That's
okay. Fair enough.
Problem. Everything in moderation is probably fine. You could get away with doing cocaine in moderation, but
yes.
And here's the thing, not to get off topic. Here's the thing about that is the reason why I don't do drugs and the reason why I don't drink alcohol is because if I enjoy something, I want to do it 24/7 all the time, which is my best weapon for MMA because I love training. So all I ever want is train. And so if I started doing drugs, I would do it all the time and I would ruin my life immediately. That is the reason I don't do drugs. I have nothing against anybody that drinks. I have nothing against any type of drugs. Your life, do what you want. I just know that I would get hooked like that.
Yeah. Well, good for you for recognizing that. A lot of people don't know when to slow down or whatever, and that's why we have a lot of problems in the world. But you still didn't answer my question. What did you have for your cheat meal?
Donuts. I was driving to where did I go? I was driving to the gym yesterday, and there's a Dunkin' right next to my house. I literally drive by it every day, and I'm driving by and I don't know what happened. I was just like, you know what? I'm going in there and I'm buying 5 donuts and I'm smashing those chocolate frosted donuts before I get to the gym. I did get a diet Coke though. So I didn't go full board, but like 3 or 4 donuts and then I trained right after. So that's what I did yesterday.
You know what's weird for me? Like I've never been like a donut guy. Like I'll have it if someone brings some and I'll eat some, but donuts isn't like I don't enjoy donuts as much as other people do. But ice cream, and cake, those are like in its own like that's the upper tier for me for sweets for sure. So it's weird how the mind works like that.
I'm 100% with you. Like I'm not donut guy either, but in fight camp it's a lot like being pregnant. I'm assuming I've never been pregnant,
right? I would
I'm
hope
assuming
not,
like I'm craving a Kit Kat bar, and like if I don't get a Kit Kat bar right now, I'm gonna be cranky for the rest of the day. So like I have to go get this, and I don't even like Kit Kat bars or whatever it is. And yesterday rather, it was just I was driving by this Dunkin' Donuts. I don't like Dunkin' Donuts really. I'd rather do a Krispy Kreme or what's a Jupiter's. Jupiter's is my favorite donut place. And I was just, hey, I'm not a big donut guy, not a big I'm pulling and I'm getting 4. So that's how it went yesterday.
Well, the problem is too, you drive by it all the time. It's convenient, right? Like that's why I always tell people, and even myself, like I try not keep any sweets or anything in the house because it's just an easy access. For example, I have this theory on ice cream. Curious, and don't worry, we'll get to fighting here, people. I know people are probably like, Jesus, enough of this food talk. But I won't buy like store-bought ice cream anymore. My philosophy now is I will only get ice cream if I have to go out and get it, because that extra step of me having to drive and get ice cream, like soft serve and all that, is much like, there's going to be times I don't want to do that. But if I have ice cream in the house, then I'll probably eat it more. What do you think of that?
So here's the issue for me.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with what you're saying is I'm a snacker. I snack, man.
Yeah.
Like, I won't even realize, oh, shoot, I just ate 4 bags of potato chips. Like,
yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah.
Won't even register. The problem is, so I do the same thing. It's like I only ever eat out. The problem is okay, I'm driving home from practice. I know I don't have a whole lot of like good food at home. So I'm just going to drive through McDonald's and buy 7 cheeseburgers and eat all of those on the way home. And then, yeah, you're right. I get home and I don't really eat, but I just ate an entire day's worth of food in one go. And then I've still got second practice, which I will drive by a McDonald's again. That's my issue is I drive by the thing that I crave most in this world after training.
There's too many temptations. I completely agree. By the way, if you want an alternative for chips, because I do this now, there's a company in the U.S. I actually sometimes have to go to the U.S. to get them. They're called Banana. I think that's how you pronounce it. They're plantain chips, but they're made with coconut oil, not like sunflower oil or any of that stuff. And they taste like chips, for the most part, but they're not made. They're made with plantains. They're not made with like actual potato chips. So they're a little bit, they're not like amazing for you, but they're like a good alternative to having potato chips, I think. And they come in like Himalayan sea salt, so it's like you're getting like something out of it as opposed to having like just regular potato chips, which are one of the worst things you can have, right? So.
You should text me.
I'll send you a link after. I'll show you the company and everything. They're great. They sell them at Whole Foods. You can find them there. So if you have a Whole Foods near you, you're good. Anyways, your corner. Who's going to be in the cage with you? Let's go with that.
Same guys as always. I got Dakota Bush coming down to help me. I've got Thiago Alves, and then I've got Mike Brown, the man, the myth, the legend, the best coach in the world right now today is Mike Brown, and he will be cornering me for this co-main event spot on October 12th.
Any update on Dakota going back to the UFC? He keeps winning fights. It seems inevitable, right?
Yeah, he's on a 5-fight win streak right now, and he's got a big first 2-minute finish over a really tough opponent, a 13-3 guy, something like that, 14-3, something like that record. And he tapped him out in the first round, first 2 minutes. Dude, he's busting his balls every single day. They got to give him a shot at some point. He does have a fight lined up for November 1st against a former UFC veteran, and I think beating him will help us out a lot. And I do think he's going to beat this guy by a spectacular finish. It's just a matter of time, man. This is what we keep telling him. 5 fights, 10 fights, 15 fights. Doesn't matter. We're going to keep the win streak going. They have to sign you eventually.
How's your fight playing out? You mentioned it there. Want to go out? He's tough. Obviously, Garcia, not an easy guy to finish. How do you see it unfolding on October 12th?
Yeah, man. I'm not 100% sure how the fight's going to start. I'm not 100% sure how the fight's going to go in the middle, but I do know how the fight is going to end, and that's going to end with me bouncing his head off the mat like a basketball. I don't have anything against Rafa Garcia at all, but I want to fight so violently that people think that he owes me money. Like, I need to put on a performance that shows people that I am top 15 material.
This fight obviously taking place in October. Would you try and squeeze one more in if all went well, or do you think you're kind of looking to next year?
It would depend on the fight, but my wife is fighting in December.
Okay.
She's coming back from her knee injury, and so she's fighting in December. So unless they were like, hey, here's, so-and-so that you're going to knock out in 20 seconds and make a bunch of money, it would have to be like one of the easiest fights ever that I could totally help focus on her and not worry about her fit. It would have to be like just a knock it out of the park. And I don't think I'm going to get one of those. So probably January, February is when I will be back after I beat this guy.
Do you think anyone right now, aside from yourself, can defeat Islam Makhachev in the division? Is there anyone you look at and think like, hey, they might be able to do it?
Sarukian.
Okay. And that's likely next, right? I mean, I would think, I think they're going to wait around to see that happen. I think they're going to the Middle East early next year, so that might work. But they also need a fight for December, although it sounds like he won't be ready for then. He's got that hand injury.
There's another guy that I think can beat Islam Makhachev, and I'm going to get so much hate in the comments for this, but I really think that Gamrot is the guy that can beat Islam. Islam doesn't move his feet well. And when you're fighting a guy like Gamrot, you have to have good feet. Like, you have to be able to move your feet because he's so good at staying safe in on your legs. Look, it would be a very close fight, but I could see Gamrot getting up. And I know he just lost. I was
going to say, if you made this call before the Hooker fight, I don't think anyone would flame you at all. I mean, anyone saying that Islam can be beat, though, obviously, people are, get riled up about that. But I think before this fight, that would have made sense. So what happened against Dan Hooker then, in your opinion?
Man, he traveled halfway across the freaking world.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
On short-ish notice against, dude. Look. I did the same thing minus the travel against Bobby Green. There was no reason for me to fight Bobby Green. I fought Bobby Green because I wanted to fight Bobby Green. It was somewhat short notice. My first main event I was ranked number 10 in the world. Bobby wasn't ranked at all. I'm pretty sure Bobby was coming off of a loss or something close to, or no. He was coming off to a close win, but it made no sense for me to take this fight. I took the fight because I wanted to fight Bobby Green. They gave me a very, very handsome contract to fight Bobby Green, and I would absolutely, knowing the outcome, I would absolutely still take that fight. But you You fight backwards, you take a risk, and sometimes it doesn't come up for you. I thought Gamrot won that fight. We were
It
fighting
was close. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
bro, he was fighting in his backyard. And one of the judges literally got fired that night for how bad of a decision he made. He gave so it was Biggie Boy versus
Tuivasa. Yeah, I know. And then one of the judges gave it to him. Yeah.
No. Didn't just give it to him.
Yeah.
Gave him a 30-27.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a terrible scorecard. I completely agree. Yeah, yeah.
You're telling me that in a close fight, they're not going to get the wrong guy? Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, he took a risk. He made a chance. It didn't pay off for him, but I'm telling you that guy's going to be back, and I think he's going to do really, really well. And I really – and he's already he's beaten Fiziev. He's beaten Armand. Like, he's good. And I really think that you know, people are going to give me flack for saying it, but I think that Gamrot could beat Islam Makhachev. I really do.
And I like the honesty, Grant. Really appreciate it, man. It's UFC Fight Night, October 12th. Anyone you want to thank or anything you want to mention, I always give you the last word.
Yeah, man. It's just, I want to thank my coaches. These guys have been through a lot with me, especially this fight camp. There's been a lot going on, and they've been by my side, and they've been putting me through what I need to be put through. So I really think that this is going to be a great performance on October 12th, and I really hope you guys all tune in to watch me hopefully get back in the rankings.